I'm lost. This road must be completely new because it's not even on the map. I don't know how long I've been riding, but I've done 18k. I've got another 15k to go. I'm on my way to a little town called Uza, which is, it's a town I drive through on the way to one of the other centres, water sports centres, in the van, and I thought it'd be a nice place to go and check out on the bike. I've got a different hire bike this time from the one I had last time. I didn't actually show that bike on the channel, did I? But you know, something that is just capable of covering distance a bit easier. I've lost so much fitness since I've been here. Holy shit! My guess is that this used to be the main cycle route south, but when they put that new road in, there's a brand new cycle lane directly adjacent to that, so this one's kind of become a bit disused. Some sections are still pretty passable, but some of it's been covered in sand and leaf litter, but it's fine for mountain bikes. It's quite good fun. Apparently we're turning in here. You always got to be suspicious of the GPS when it takes you off a nice cycle route and puts you in someone's farmyard. Ah, here we go. Right, let's have a look at this. It's now telling me to make a U-turn. Try this one instead. Maize to be fed to animals, cows, cattle. So there's very few cattle in this part of the world. It's so flat and sandy, they tend to just grow crops, which they're obviously then refining and piling to the back of trucks and moving across France, presumably across Europe. It's such a big operation here, feeding to animals now. Not sure exactly what that's doing there. Oh, it's been taken by an animal, hasn't it? It's been taken by a fox or something. Something that's begun to pluck it at least. Look at that. Truly free-range chickens. Now this is a little more my thing. Dare I say it, at least in my limited understanding of these things, this appears to me to be a natural forest. self-seeded. With the exception of the track that's obviously been ploughed through here by the farmer. This appears to me to be a pretty unspoiled area. I don't even care if I'm on course with the GPS now. I'm just exploring. We get everywhere, we interfere with everything. But having been a chainsaw operator myself, I know that unless it's a commercial operation, no one cuts down trees without good reason. So this one here, I don't know, has it come from that stump there? That would certainly support a tree of this size. How it got all the way over here, I don't know. I mean, for some reason they wanted to keep this waterway open, I would imagine, for canoeists perhaps. Same here, this tree growing on the edge of the bank has overgrown the strength of its roots. It's been drilled and poisoned so it won't grow back. But with the exception of whoever it is who farms this land, and whatever team it was who came out and cut these trees up, I doubt many human eyes see this place. I'm very far off the beaten track now. I'm not on a marked cycle route anymore. This is the advantage of one of these, a hiking GPS that has all these completely, you know, random trails. And I haven't been through any gates, so that kind of suggests this is public access, or at least it would back home in the disunited kingdom. If something's private, there's a sign, there's a locked gate, you know, you can't trespass accidentally. That's insane. I just checked the time on here. When I glanced at it, it was 13:33. And then I looked down at the GoPro. I've currently got 33 clips in the memory of the GoPro, so I'm seeing a lot of threes right now, and that is you know, it's a coincidence if you believe in that sort of thing, but I just want to make a note of this. There's a certain route of thinking that we often go down called it gets labelled a conspiracy theory, because if you have a mainstream story, a mainstream version of events that is basically taken as truth, unquestionable truth, and yet it's not empirically demonstrated, there is another way of looking at it, then they have to call that other way of looking at it a conspiracy theory. And it's like they can't prove that these things are not real, are not true. You can't prove a negative, because the truth of that thing could always be existing somewhere you've been unable to look thus far. And they can't really prove the truth of their version of events, okay? So there are many things, I'm not going to make a list, but there are many things that fit into this category, things that we all take as truth until we start to question, until we start to think outside of the box. And then we become what is labelled as a conspiracy theorist, right? And I definitely fall into that category. But then it hit upon me recently that to be anything but a conspiracy theorist makes you a coincidence theorist. Let's just take one single example here. Let's take the example of how this universe came into being. If you don't believe that there was any kind of intelligence behind all of this, and I absolutely do. There is no other way it could be, without intention, without design. If you don't share that belief, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And quite often it's the other way around. It's people who believe that all this just came into being. It just like randomly organised itself. They have a problem with people who think otherwise. They're like, no, this is a proven fact. But then, if you believe in that Big Bang idea, and it is a belief, then because there's no way to be there. There was no way to be there and record that. I don't know what they say, that we can hear the echo of it rumbling around in the universe. And yeah, I get that, but you still have to believe that that's really what they're recording with their listening devices. It's a belief. The Big Bang is a belief. And what came before the Big Bang? That's, of course, the big question that no one wants to answer. No one can answer. I mean, no one can even demonstrate that the Big Bang really happened. But that's what it boils down to. That, for me, is the ultimate coincidence theory. The creation of the universe and everything in it. Been on the road for almost 3 hours now. And I'm going to make up a bit of time, try and get into Uzo, find something to eat for lunch. Défense d'entrée, chasse-garde des propriétés privées. I mean, there was no signs on the other one saying public right of way or anything like that. No footpath signs, nothing. So that kind of suggests that I'm now out of the private area and I'm back onto a nature reserve, public access land. Back on the road now. Predictably, it is a war memorial. Priez pour les enfants d'Uzo, mortiers pour la France. And we obviously have 1914, World War I, 1915, 1916, 1918. Down here, we've got dates from World War II. So I'm pretty sure it's a war memorial, as most of them are. Could be a World War I soldier, I'm not sure. So yeah, that's it really. Just came down here to look at this thing, see what it was, have a look at this lovely view. I drive on this road maybe once or twice a week to transfer people and equipment with the minibus between different centres. So that's it, thanks for watching.